Hey, this is Digital by Computing. We're going to talk about how to create a LUN of the EMC Unity SAN. So let's log into SAN right now and have a look at how to do it. Let's just go into block here, and you'll see that I've got no LUNs configured. All right. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go and create a LUN. You can't create a LUN unless you've created a pool first. So make sure that you've created that pool, that your pool has enough capacity, and then we're going to create a LUN to add into that pool. So we click on the plus. How many LUNs do you want to create? Well, you create just one, but you can easily just create more than one if you need to. Okay, we're just going to create one for this, and we're just going to call it test LUN. This is a test LUN. What pool do I want to use? So I'm going to use the pool that I've just created, which is a test pool. I know that it has 6.4 terabytes free. Tiering policy, start high, then auto tier. Now again, this is relating to your tiers if you have tiers of different disk speeds set up. If you don't have that and you've just got one speed of disks, then this is really irrelevant. And then what size LUN do we want to create? Okay, so clearly I've got 6.4 terabytes, so I can create a LUN up to 6.4 terabytes if I want to, but obviously we're going to create, maybe some smaller ones. So let's just create a 500 gig LUN in here. We're going to leave the host IO limit as no limit. There's obviously no option there, but you can create an IO limit, an input-output limit if you need to. Go ahead and click on that next. I then need to configure access. So what this is if I'm using a iSCSI or a fiber channel configuration, if I'm using fiber channel, for example, I need to obviously ensure that my SAN is connected to my fiber switches over fiber channel and then connected to my host from there, and that my fiber channel switches are zoned correctly so that my SAN can see my hosts, whether that's ESXi, your VMware, or if you're running Citrix or a different sort of platform. So you want to make sure that the zoning is in place so that it can see each other. Likewise, if you're going to be using iSCSI, you want to have the iSCSI initiators enabled in order to be able to configure access. So you can click on plus and add the particular hosts that you need access in here. So you can actually do a search here. You can see that, put in the name, the operating system, and the protocol, fiber channel iSCSI. You see that they're both ticked. Now the reason that this is empty and says no records found is because there's nothing that has been zoned or made available to this SAN from my hosts directly. So you will have this populated when the SAN is correctly zoned on your switches or via a SCSI initiator, and then they should appear in here automatically. So for the purpose of this demonstration, we're going to leave this blank, but obviously you can create as many LUNs as you want, but unless you allocate them to a particular host, it's not going to be usable, okay? But you can actually leave this blank and still continue on as normal, and then go back and customize that LUN once you've gone and done the initial configuration so that your hosts are visible. Do you want to create some snapshot schedules? So this is enabling automatic scheduling of your snapshots of your LUNs. So automatic backups, we'll call it. So it does essentially a snapshot of your LUN at a predetermined time every day, every week, every month, etc. And then you can talk about how often you want to delete them, how long do you want to retain them for, etc. So this is a great feature where you can use to make sure that your LUNs are backed up in case of accidental deletion. We're going to leave this blank. We're not going to talk about this in this demonstration, but just know that that feature is available for you. Replication mode and RPO. So this allows you to do replication if you enable this, replication essentially to another SAN. So this could be another SAN on your same local network in the same data center, or in the same comms cabinet, for example, Or if you have a setup where you have a duplicate SAN in another data center, for example, you can set up replication so that it copies the LUNs from one to the other, and that you have that replication in place. You've got the backups in place, and that's a real good feature to use for example, disaster recovery. But again, we're going to leave that blank for now, but you can go ahead and configure this at a later stage if you so choose. Then you've got a summary here. You can see that that's the name that we've given it. We've given it 500 gig, etc. We've left snapshots off. We've left replication off, and access has not been configured for any hosts as yet. But all of these features you can go back and customize and change as often as you see fit. So once you've clicked on finish, it's going to go and create that LUN and allocate the storage of that LUN into the pool that you have created previously. 100% complete, and we can click on close. You'll now see that that has got a 500 gig LUN has been created within that Unisphere portal. So if you found that video helpful, please like it and subscribe to my channel Digital by Computing just on the button there for more videos.